Yeah, a cooking show on LinkedIn is a dumb idea for so many obvious reasons, but I'm going to do one anyway.
Cooking with Andy Raskin on LinkedIn.
In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a miso soup that I make before I go into pressure situations. That really helps to calm me down. So like big meetings, kickoff sessions, I always make this miso soup and it makes me feel better. So I know you're probably saying, hey Andy, I know the main ingredient in miso soup is dashi, and if I want to make it really good, I probably have to make my dashi from scratch, and that's a big deal. I used to make my own dashi from scratch, and you simmer this kelp, kombu in Japanese, and you have to you put in these bonito flakes, these dried bonito shavings, katsuobushi in Japanese. But then a friend of mine told me about this instant dashi. And I mean, most instant dashi is like really bad, basically like salt and MSG. But I tried this stuff and it was like so much better. I know this sounds like an ad for the instant dashi. It's not. This is like 32 bucks on Amazon, and it comes with 30 packages. So it's a little more than $1 a package for each of these little tea bags. And you just take these tea bags and you put them in boiling water for like a few minutes, and it's done. So let's do that. You put in 2 cups of boiling water. You know, after every engagement I do with leadership teams and CEOs on the strategic narrative, I always ask for feedback. And recently I worked with a team called Foxglove. They do software for robotics developers. And they gave me a lot of great feedback about the narrative and all the working. But they said, you know, we do have one thing we got to tell you, like in the kickoff session, you know, like the first 10, 15 minutes of it, like you were off, like you were nervous, and you know, that was like our first exposure for a lot of our team to you, and we kind of weren't sure if we'd have confidence in you. I guess they said it got better, but you know, that was the one time I led the kickoff session from a place that was not my home, so I couldn't make the miso soup. So this miso soup literally can make the difference between customer satisfaction and customer trust and not, although I guess I recovered in the end for this one. So let's talk about the other main ingredient in miso soup, which is of course miso. I often like to try different kinds of miso, red miso, white miso. Right now I only have a white miso. This is a miso from the US. It's called, made by a company called Cold Mountain, and I like white miso because it's a little sweeter than the red. I used to put the miso into the dashi with just a spoon and stir it around, but I'd wind up with these clumps that were like hard to get rid of. And then I learned about this this great gadget called a miso strainer, which changed my life. So let me show you how this works. I think this is just about boiling now. So I'm gonna take the little tea bag thing of dashi out. I like to kind of squeeze it against the side there to get off all the goodness. I'm gonna turn off the heat too. I use about a teaspoon of the miso. I'm not gonna be super precise about this, but I just put it into the miso strainer and then kind of like push it around so that when it comes out of there, there's no clumps. All right, so I'm gonna leave that to it's pretty hot, so I'm gonna leave that to cool off a little bit. And meanwhile, I'll just talk about what I'm gonna put in there. So I'm gonna put some tofu in there. Traditional, this is like just silken tofu, just a few pieces cut up, because why not? I like to put some green onions in there on top. And then also on top, I like to put myoga. You don't see myoga in US supermarkets that much, but you can find it in Japanese supermarkets. Myoga is the bud of a plant that's related to ginger. It is kind of like, the taste is kind of like if like ginger and an onion had a baby, that would be what myoga tastes like. So I'm just gonna cut one just really thin piece of it. It's so little, so little, it's pretty strong, and just adds this like sort of just interesting little flavor. Okay, so I'm ready to put it together now. Let's take our miso soup from the stove, and I'm gonna put it into this, this is just a plastic one, but I like this. I'll show you why I like this sort of traditional design. I'm just gonna pour enough in there, kind of 3/4 to the top, and then put in the tofu and the toppings, so the green onions and the myoga. And I like this design because it comes with a top that fits, that just like fits in. And when you put this on top and just like lay it there, the steam inside creates some kind of vacuum effect. So then I can take it to my office and open it up, and this like steam comes out, and it's just so comforting and relaxing, even before I even taste it. Oh, it's just like you're tasting the ocean, which for me, I guess I grew up by the sea, like fishing and stuff, so maybe I'm especially prone to the relaxation effects of this soup. But I think it'll work for anybody. If you have like any kind of like stressful situation, meeting, whatever, and you make this miso soup, let me know how it goes.
Cooking with Andy Raskin on LinkedIn.